Councils are quite used to receiving requests and applications from any numbers of local organisations. Usually this request entails some form of financial commitment from already stretched council resources. Today's appeal to the Den is almost unique in that it requests no money, just the council to provide people and resources in response to a generic plan that will enable the council to meet some of its statutory duties. The pitch today comes from members of the Resilience Partnership of Leicester, Leicestershire and Rutland.
Let's go.
They are here to inform the Council of the contents and information contained in their Emergency Centres plan, something that will enable the Council to help care for people in need of emergency shelter. But in a unique twist to the Council's Dragon's Den, they must convince all 4 members that the plan meets the Council's needs. Norman Proudfoot, Assistant Director Community Services, Harborough District Council. Elaine Bird, Regulatory Service Manager, Harborough District Council. Hayley Cawthorne, Parish Liaison and Community Partnerships Officer. Russell Smith, Media and Public Relations Officer. Each of these have individual as well as collective interest in ensuring they have a workable, robust plan in place.
Are you nervous?
Yeah.
Straight.
Yeah.
Right. It'll be good.
We'll be okay.
Doors opening.
Here we go. Hello Council Dragons, my name is John Brown and this is my Resilience Partnership colleague Kim Jepson-Hamley. We're here today to give you an overview of the Emergency Centres plan.
The plan aims to assist you in meeting your statutory requirement to provide a place of shelter and care for those in need in the community. Specifically, this plan looks at those who have been displaced from their homes as a result of an incident.
The plan is broken down into information sections that detail steps required to provide the level of care required during a time of stress and concern to the individuals.
We are looking today for your agreement and adoption of the plan and your commitment to mobilise the necessary resources required at the time of an incident.
In return, we will train and exercise the staff required to ensure that the plan works smoothly. In addition, that we will review the plan every 2 years.
An assured, if sometimes nervous, presentation by the 2 resilience officers. They hope their plan will meet all the requirements of the council members, whilst at the same time promising that they will continue to improve and develop its contents. First to question the resilience officers is Norman Proudfoot, who is keen to find out some details of the plan.
Kim, John, I like the look of the plan and especially how it's broken down into the various sections. But can you tell us a bit more about the roles and responsibilities that you are expecting our organisation to provide?
Yes, there's a number of individual roles described in the plan, from centre manager and assistant manager through to reception and registration staff. Some of these roles are able to be undertaken by staff who receive the initial training. The tasks are allocated at the time of the centre being opened. There are other roles like the centre manager, the assistant manager, that are more specialised. And we're looking to identify particular individuals who have the necessary skills such as leadership and delegation to take on those roles. They will be given specialised training that will assist them in those tasks.
Next to question the pair is Hayley Cawthorne, a council employee but also with more than one reason to find out the details in the plan.
Kim, John, I work closely with parish councils and community groups. Can you tell me how a generic plan like this could help a village like that in the time of need?
The plan identifies that there'll be different levels of response depending on the type of incident. We actually use a tiering system for our centres. based on capacity and facilities available within those buildings. We have a 4-tier system. Tier 1 centres would be large buildings such as sports halls and leisure centres that could accommodate hundreds of people. Tier 2 and 3 centres would be multi-room community centres, religious buildings, village halls, and then we have Tier 4 centres which we use as a last resort, and they are educational premises.
Thank you, that's very reassuring.
I do have some experience in setting up breast centres. It can be a minefield sorting out the administration needs when sorting out an impromptu centre. How does your plan assist us understand the paperwork needs and resources other than people that might be required?
Okay, within the plan, I think it's starting at section 4, we've listed the admin needs that are required, from risk assessments to the emergency centre logs and records, also information on carrying out briefings and debriefs. We have a number of large centres that have individual plans that have been set up to show the particular centre and the capacities that they can handle. As well as this, in the large centres and some other locations, we've placed emergency grab boxes, such as the one on display here, which contains a whole range of items that will assist you in the initial setup of any centre.
Quiet up to now, Russell Smith has an interest in media and communications, but also likes to delve into the figures of any plans.
My role is in media and comms, so I'm interested in how those two areas are addressed. But also, could you tell us some numbers, how many centres you have, and how many volunteers are currently on the books?
Yeah, communications and media handling has its own section within the plan. It also provides guidance on how the response agencies will communicate between agencies and how they'll provide accurate information to one another. The plan also includes guidance on how to access interpreting services, as well as voluntary groups such as radio amateurs, and also the setting up of media cells to coordinate a joined up response. As for numbers with the emergency centres, we have 28 Tier 1 centres, so they're the large sports hall buildings, 66 Tier 2 centres, 162 Tier 3s, so that's money village halls and community centres, and 45 T4s, which are your educational premises, so about 301 centres in total.
We have approximately 295 trained volunteers for our centres who have attended initial training, and many of those have attended exercises that we carry out on your behalf each year. We also have strong links to the larger voluntary sectors such as the Red Cross, St John's and RVS, and can call on their organisations to assist us at the centres if necessary.
The questions have now been asked and met with robust and confident replies. Now, will the Council Dragons make an offer to the pair that is acceptable? Remember that in this case, all 4 dragons must make the offer. But will they ask additional commitments from the Resilience Partnership?
We do want to make an offer of agreeing to the plan. However, we would require additional commitments from your team. We would want you to review the plan on a regular basis, and you will increase the number of centres and volunteers that you have on your books. And lastly, that you will continue to train and exercise all elements of the plan in line with our requirements.
Well, thanks for the offer. There's quite a few things there for us to consider. Could we take a minute to talk about it?
Sure, no problem.
Thanks for your offer, as all the things you've mentioned and suggested are actually pieces of work we're already committing to do. We would very much like to accept your offer.
A successful outcome for all concerned. The Council Dragons have the plan that meets their requirements and the additional commitments with the Resilience Partnership of increasing numbers of centres and volunteers. partnership have the agreement that the council will provide resources and continue to sign up to the developing plan.